They called her Helpless, a girl born on Ganymede, lungs too fragile for open air, bones too soft for gravity. She couldn't run, couldn't fight, couldn't even breathe outside a sealed dome without collapsing. Even among humans, she was a biological relic, weak, fragile, obsolete. Her name was Lyra. Doctors told her family she wouldn't live past 10. They were wrong. By 15, she disappeared. When the tranny arrived, no one thought of her. Why would they? The tranny were the galaxy's worst mistake, telepathic, cold-blooded apex predators with shared consciousness across light years. They didn't fight wars. They erased civilizations. One moment a planet was alive, the next silence. Entire systems went dark with no sign of conflict. Humanity answered with fleets, fire, AI swarms. Nothing worked. The tranny infected data, like a thought virus. Ships were lost before the enemy even arrived. Crew minds scrambled. Neural links melted, not from weapons, but from contact, from proximity. Human generals called it psychological warfare. It wasn't. It was domination. But then something changed. First came a strange report from Delta 9, a lone tranny cruiser, destroyed from the inside, without damage to the hull. The crew found slumped in a fetal position. Neural cores ruptured. Their own memory architecture shattered. Command dismissed it as anomaly. Then, a second report. A Terran listening post on Kepler. 4 picked up psychic resonance pulses. Human, not a tranny. Laced with song. Nursery songs. One a tranny dreadnought self-destructed moments after intercepting it. By the 5th report, the whispers began. A ghost. A weapon. A human myth rising from extinction. No one knew who. No visual records. No confirmed sightings. Only results. Entire tranny thought spire complexes found in ruins. Internal disarray. No blast marks. Swarms of a tranny dead with expressions of fear. They weren't supposed to feel fear. And yet, they whispered a name through panicked mental bursts before going silent. Lyra. It made no sense. The Lyra anyone knew had vanished decades ago. She wasn't a soldier. She wasn't even a real citizen. What they didn't know was that Lyra hadn't died. She had been taken. Project Oracle classified Tier 0. A last-ditch black program by the Terran Defense Intelligence. They took her because of what she was. Because her fragile biology wasn't a weakness. It was evolution. A mind unshackled by mechanical augmentation. One that couldn't be infected. One that could go places no AI or cybernetic neural link ever could. The mind space. Lyra was never meant to fight in the physical world. She was made to enter the tranny hive. What the tranny didn't expect was a human who could walk inside their thoughts and break them. Lyra didn't use weapons. She used memory. Emotion. The raw, unfiltered chaos of the human psyche. When she entered their shared mental architecture, she didn't bring logic. She brought trauma. She didn't just confuse them. She unmade them. She fractured collective thought threads with grief, rage, love, despair. Concepts so violently alien to tranny minds that entire clusters collapsed trying to parse them. She'd start with a lullaby, something soft. Then she'd drop in a memory. The death of a sibling, the heat of war, the moment a parent whispers goodbye before air runs out. A tidal wave of everything humanity ever survived. The tranny had never felt pain that didn't come from injury. Lyra taught them pain that came from being alive. They called her a myth because it was the only way to survive her. Denial became defense. But it wasn't enough. An entire tranny nexus on Haloth Prime went silent the night Lyra arrived. Its defenders turned on each other within hours. One of the last remaining tranny overminds transmitted a message to the far colonies. We have awakened something we were never meant to touch. Humanity didn't celebrate. They didn't even know. Her name was never listed in reports. The Terran Council classified all Oracle activity as no-level disinformation. But Black Site commanders knew. One of them left a single sentence in his personal log before wiping it from existence. I don't know what she is anymore. I just know we didn't build her. We survived her. War ended with no treaty, no peace accord, The tranny fleets withdrew. One by one, tranny systems flickered offline, not from destruction, but from abandonment. The hive mind stopped transmitting. Their colonies sealed themselves in. They didn't want war. They wanted distance. They feared her. On the far edges of the galaxy, tranny war nurseries now teach cadets about a forbidden signal. Human in origin, a voice pattern composed of 3 tones. If heard, they are trained to self-terminate neural links and flee. No questions. No resistance. They call her the Hollow One. They say she floats between stars, waiting, not in a ship, not in a suit, in thought. No tranny speaks her name aloud anymore, not even in private. But the message still circulates, deep in encrypted hive space. If you feel warmth in your mind, run. That is how she begins. They called her Helpless. Too weak for war, too soft for space. Now, her name is a ghost in the minds of killers, a warning etched into the memory code of every tranny child, a myth for those who survived. But some say she still moves through the void, not for vengeance, not for justice, but because she can't come back. Because once you've seen the soul of the enemy and shattered it, you're never truly human again. And maybe that's the final reason they fear her. Because she didn't just break the tranny. She became something they couldn't understand. Something that stares back at the stars. Something that listens when you think you're alone. Lyra, the myth,